you have to be yourself. You can watch other people. There are natural affinities that you might have with a mentor, someone who you are learning from. It's just their nature. And you want to be like them. And you can, I suppose, imitate them a little bit. But you have to have your own style, as Quintilian suggested in his book. You have to develop your own style, and you have to do it your way. And you have to fashion your arguments in a way that works for you. That's who you are. And the advocate is always giving something of herself or himself to the audience. And that's what, you have to do. Now, I'll give you an example in closing of a final argument I heard in San Diego. And it evidences the thinking outside the box in the criminal defense area. Criminal defense lawyers are among the best lawyers in the country. And they have to think outside the box, because if you think inside the box, your client may go up the river. So you have to be innovative. And when I finished my trial in San Diego, I was waiting for the jury nervously. I went down the hall, and I saw that there was something going on in this other court, and so I went in and I sat down. And here's what I saw. It was final argument. The public defender, federal public defender, was defending a man who only spoke Spanish and who came from Tijuana and had been asked to drive a truck across the border for $50. Unfortunately for him, the tires were filled with marijuana. Could happen to anybody. So this is the case. And here's what she did. First, she came up. She was a diminutive public defender. She came up to the lectern that was here, and she said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I don't know whether to stand in front of the lectern so that you can see me as I argue for justice for my client, which would be good, or whether to stand behind here, as the judge has been insisting that I do through the whole trial, yelling at me." At which point the judge said, "I don't care where you stand. You can stand anywhere you want." Whereupon juror number 3 smiled at the lawyer. Smiles from jurors in the beginning of your argument are golden. And here was her argument. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, they brought this man in front of you." And this was all translated to the client. Blah, 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 habla, blah, 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 abogado, blah, 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 and he's listening. And what is this all about? Blah, 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 blah. They promised you a war on drugs. Blah, 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 blah. They promised you, the government promised you, they would bring in the ringleaders. Blah, 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 blah. And what have they done? They brought in this schmuck. And she points to her own client. Abogado, habla el schmucko you. El schmucko me, el schmucko me. The jury sort of listened. They smiled. They were out 30 minutes. And they acquitted the defendant. Within the rules, you're supposed to win them any way that you can. At a dinner in San Diego, a couple of years later, I told a story, and the lawyer was in the audience, and she came up to me and she said, I've given that argument in 6 cases, and I've gotten 6 acquittals. So there are many different ways to win a case, and we must always be thinking about how this case, this audience, will react to this particular argument. Thank you.